Alright, Marvel's Avengers is out. Let's go check out the Metacritic score. Oh, that's not good. This game is not that bad, guys. What's going on, buddy? My name is Zach, and today I'm going to be going over and reviewing Marvel's The Avengers, the game, which is coming out from Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, the people who brought us the likes of Tomb Raider, which I love that last trilogy. I thought it was great. And of course, Marvel's Avengers begins on A-Day, where Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, Black Widow, and Thor are unveiling a high-tech Avengers headquarters in San Francisco, including the reveal of their own helicarrier powered by this experimental energy source. After a devastating catastrophic event results in a massive devastation, blamed by the tragedy, the Avengers disband. 5 years later, with all superheroes outlawed in the world in peril, the only hope to reassemble the Earth's mightiest heroes starts with one named Miss Marvel's Kamala Khan. If you guys are new here and you guys enjoy movies, games, rankings, reactions, or in general just tons of reviews on a daily basis, I do all sorts of that geeky content over here every single day. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button before you guys head on out, and as well as comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Where are you with this game? I don't think it's terrible, and I'm about to say why. That's maybe the optimistic in me, but I do think there is a lot of pessimistic sides to this, so I want to hear down below in the comment section what your guys' thoughts are on this game, as well as letting me know who are you playing with the most in here, and we're going to dive into each and every one of these characters, because I probably put around 15 hours so far into this game. There's still much more to put into here, but after beating the campaign, I feel a little bit more solid on where this game is and how I feel about this game, so let's talk about it. Remember, a long time ago when they finally showed the teaser for this, I was on the edge. I'm like, oh my god, no gameplay, no nothing, but oh my god, Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, they're making an Avengers game, this is gonna be awesome. And then the first trailer came out with A-Day, and the character models didn't look great, the graphics looked kind of shit, and in general, the game did not look good. But the gameplay looked fun, and I said, it just needs work, and it got pushed back, and now it's finally here. It's been a long ride for it to finally come here, and overall, I am satisfied with this game. I am very optimistic for the future of this game, but I also understand what I was getting into. When I found out this game was going to be a live service type game of the likes of Destiny 2, and some people were being compared to it like Fortnite, which, yes, it has like a battle pass thing in it, but I more compare this to Destiny and Destiny 2, because I'm a big fan of Destiny 2. I liked it. I like what they did with it. The first Destiny was a really big letdown to me. Destiny 2 came out and it was okay, but I thought it got better over time, definitely, especially with the way that it added its expansions and changed the characters, and really when Bungie finally went away from Activision, really did their own thing. I thought that was smart. And, you know, we also look at a game that also had a big change over the last couple of years, which is like No Man's Sky, and most definitely EA's Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 started out like crap and made me only play a couple hours and say, I'm done, I'm not playing this game. Going back a couple years later and diving into this game and playing it at least twice a week with my friends and having a ton of fun with it now, because they actually changed a lot of stuff. And I think Marvel's The Avengers is gonna probably just do that. I'm very optimistic on this game, and I want to start with my major pro of this, and that is the campaign. I think the campaign is great in here. I was really iffy to how they were going to make these characters work, but I think they each gave every single one of them, not just the performances alone, because each and every one of the performances is great, but the writing between each of the characters feels like that classic character that I grew up with from the comic books, but as well as making me love this new interpretation and wanting to dive into more of their back history and what is going on in this world. Kind of with what they did with the last Spider-Man game for the PS4, how they dove us into Peter Parker and we're kind of catching up to what's going on in his universe, who's established, who's not. It's really fun in that nature to see what's established already in this world and what's not, especially through the Easter eggs and, again, the character interactions. Love the likes of what they did with Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, Captain America, Kamala Khan especially, and of course Thor Odinson. I think it's really unique how they were able to dive into each and every one of these characters in a very unique and dynamic way, but one that really increased my expectations to see where they take these characters. Not each and every one of them gets like a lot of stuff to do. Like really the three main characters in here are Bruce Banner, Kamala Khan, and Iron Man. Mostly being Kamala Khan, though. It really does feel like Crystal Dynamics said, we want to make a Miss Marvel game, but we can't do that because people won't buy it as much. So we'll make it an Avengers game and make Kamala Khan the main star. And I love that. And in fact, I'm a big person who's never been a big giant fan of Miss Marvel or Kamala Khan, which maybe it's her comic book storylines that I've read or just in general like that, but I'm super excited to see what her Disney Plus show is going to be now after playing this game. And if you're a big fan of Kamala Khan and you have big comic books things that you guys think I should read to really fall more in love with her character, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your guys' thoughts are and which ones I should check out, because now I want to dive into more of her character, because I love, again, the culture of her character, her personal life, her family life. but it's also the charming heart of her. Maybe that's the performance in here by the voice actress, but I think nonetheless the thing that really gave me a lot of expectations with her was she could have been written very annoyingly, but she wasn't. She was truly the heart of the story, and she really is us. There's a couple interactions in the beginning of this game where you play as her at A-Day, and I'm not going to get into major spoilers in here at all, because I'm sure many of you guys are still skeptical on buying this game. But there's certain moments that you have interactions between Thor and Captain America that just gave me a really good fuzzy feeling in my stomach, and I just had a big smile on my face throughout those moments. And I continuously, anytime and any chance I got to play as Kamala Khan through the campaign, I only wanted to play as her. I thought she was such a dynamic character and a really fun character to play as, and in general, just hearing her corpse and how she's getting along with the Avengers, it was just brought a big smile on my face, because that's how I would be. That's how I would be if I was an Avenger, and that's what I loved about this game, is seeing how they were able to really further out Kamala Khan and make a character who was not the biggest, like going in, this is the character I didn't plan on playing as the most, and I ended up playing the most of her because I absolutely loved her character. And in general, like I said, everyone else does a really good job. What they do with Iron Man, I love. What they do with Bruce Banner is really unexpected, but subdued and very personal, and I think Troy Baker did an excellent job with Bruce Banner. Thor Odinson doesn't have much to do in here, but still, when you're playing as Thor, it's badass, and I love the voice acting for him, especially when he comes back into play once the Avengers finally come back together. God, it's amazing. Captain America in here, not a lot of him, but for what we did get of him and the gameplay of him, it's fun, which we'll get into the gameplay. Black Widow, can't forget about her. She's fun to play as. There's nothing much more to say than that. Again, you can definitely tell the characters that they focus on more and who they might focus on eventually, since this is a live service game. So I love the campaign. I love the villain of MODOK. I think they did MODOK so damn well. Please, Kevin Feige, put him in the MCU or Ant-Man 3. I think he would be a perfect villain for the Ant-Man and the Wasp. But yeah, MODOK, freaking great. I love how they did that character. It was so well done. But that's my thing. The campaign is a giant love letter to Marvel fans, and you can definitely feel that. I'm not talking about the missions you go on, but I'm talking about the writing, the story elements, and all the little Easter eggs in there. This is a giant love letter to Marvel fans. You can definitely tell Marvel fans made this game, and I loved it. I love what they were able to do with those. But with that said, let's talk about the live service element of this. And I am optimistic on this. I, again, am a fan of Destiny 2. I think that game was not the best at starting, but it continuously got better. And the way that they added expansions, added tons of different things, makes people want to keep coming back. And we already know that they're planning on adding many different heroes to this game. I don't know about missions, though. Do these characters come with missions? Are there extra story things? Because there is an end credit scene, so make sure to stay after the credits. But there is an end credit scene to this game. And the way that it stopped, I said, okay, well, am I going to wait for another Avengers game? Or are you going to add it into an expansion? Or is it going to come with one of these characters? Because we know Hawkeye's coming. We know Kate Bishop's coming. We know Black Panther's coming. We know Spider-Man's coming to the PS4 version only. We're not getting into that controversy, though, today. Captain Marvel, War Machine, Doctor Strange, Vision, and so many more are possibly rumored to play also into this game, which I'm excited to see what characters they do add and who I get to play as. You know, some of these heroes are free, and I'm sure some of them are going to have to be paid for behind expansions and stuff like that. But what comes with the character? Is it just a character, another skill tree, or is there missions? Is there more story that you're going to add to this game? That's what I'm excited to see. And at the same time, worried to see, because as a live service, I think if they go the Destiny model, it can work. I've always believed in if you have a live service game, you don't need to make an Avengers 2 in the next couple of years. What you need to do is really market to the people that weren't the biggest fan of this game from the beginning, and maybe were disappointed in it and want to dive into this. But as a fan of a live service game, I'm excited to see, again, what they do with this. I don't know how much attention this game will still have me in the next couple of weeks. There's so many games still coming out, possibly. But for right now, this is a game I'm going to be playing for the next couple of weeks, and I'm excited to. From what I've put into it, playing with friends is a blast. Some of the missions are definitely repetitive, but some of them are fun. And you, again, go to the same areas, do different things, and that's exactly what I expected from this game going in. A straight-up early 2000 brawler, added within some sprinkling in some RPG elements, and then put into 2020. And again, that works for me. I think the combat, I think the gameplay is fun. I think playing as each and every other character, learning their abilities, upgrading their skill trees is the fun part. Let's get to the pessimistic side of me, though. The part that, again, this game is not terrible. I don't get why, like, people are review bombing the hell out of this game. I think some people are calling it even trash. I don't think it's trash. I think there's stuff to go for it. And, you know, maybe I wouldn't recommend that you buy it for $60, but I think it's worth a buy eventually. And for me, am I pissed that I bought $60 for this? No, I'm going to have fun with it. But I think some people, it's not going to be worth it for it. So let's get into my big con for this game, though. the loot. The loot is garbage. And that's actually the big part that I was actually kind of excited for. The beta didn't impress me very much, so I wanted to kind of really dive into the game and see what the game is going to be. And again, I love the characters. I love the gameplay. I think it's all fun. I think the campaign is a giant love letter, but the loot system, man, is terrible. And the microtransactions in here to buy a skin, I love when I can change out the skins on my character, but terrible as well. I get why there's microtransactions in here. You want to make the money, but in the same sense, just support your game and it'll make its money. That's how I've always felt with this. Yes, games are getting more expensive to make, but if you keep, loving your games and expanding into them and adding expansions and doing stuff like that, you'll have your fan base keep coming back. I mean, again, Destiny 2 survived for so long because of that nature. Avengers, though, the loot system. When you get loot usually in a game, it changes out your character's looks and all that stuff. No, this doesn't do it. It changes your power level. I didn't give one shit for it. I never thought it did anything for it. I get this legendary stuff. I never wanted to buy anything from any of the merches. It really didn't. I didn't give a shit for it. And in fact, when I go to these big open areas, I didn't want to even look for the crates unless I really needed to. Didn't care about the loot. And I think that's the biggest disappointment about this game. And I think that's the thing that Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix really needs to take in perspective, is that and the microtransactions. They need to readjust those, because I think that's going to be one of the biggest turnoffs of this game, is how many different currencies, how many different things. The screen is always so busy and muddled. And, again, the gameplay is fun and the graphics are pretty damn good, but the frame rate can be ass from this at times when so many different things are happening on screen. And then you're having this level up bar going, this level up bar though, and oh, you just did this. And I don't care. I just want to play the game and then I'll check the pause screen. You can pop it up real fast, but I don't need all these different bars. And I think that's one of the things that is actually holding this game back a little bit from being what it needs to be. It's trying to have this RPG element, but it's also trying to be a straight up brawler. Which one do you want to be? I think the brawler element works, and I think the skill tree element works, but the loot system needs a total readjusting to it. It needs to. If you're going to have a loot system, you need to make it affect your character and more than just the way that it's leveling you up. I need to see how it affects my character on the outside, and I think that would be cool if you did something like, say, The Division or Destiny, where you put pieces together and it makes a really cool suit or armor, and you can mold it or craft it into different things. There's so many different things you can do about it, but it's so bare bones and just seems there to be there, to make you want to grind and spend time and maybe even spend your own money to get more different things or get different cosmetics and in general get different elements. It never hooked me. The thing that hooks me is playing with my friends and getting to play as the Avengers. That's the core soul of the game. That's why I play it. I don't play the Spider-Man game because I want to level him up. No, I play the Spider-Man game because I want to play Spider-Man. I play the Batman Arkham games because I want to play as Batman. I play the Avengers game because I want to play as the Avengers. That's why. The Avengers won me over in certain aspects, especially with its characters and Kamala Khan and the gameplay. But when it comes down to the RPG elements, especially with the loot system, it's just not great. And I think there's a lot of fixing needing to be done, especially when you even try to play with friends and online. The servers are not great either. When it comes to the online connectivity, that's something I expect usually with these games. Sometimes it's laggy, sometimes it's buggy. I understand that. That's going to come in patches. But the loot system is something that really needs to be looked at and touched upon, especially the microtransactions. I think if they can really redefine that and do it into a different light, this game could actually come out being very strong towards the end. Look at Battlefront 2. Everyone shit on that game when it came out, and now a ton of people still play it. I still play it. I think it's the best Battlefront game now, especially with all the changes they've done. There's still things I wish they would have done completely, but I love what they did with the game. Destiny 2, I'm really falling for that game again, and I think as a live service thing, Marvel's Avengers can work. I just need to see where they go with this game, especially with the add-ons. So guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Make sure to comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts on this game. What are your guys' thoughts overall? Who's your favorite character to play as? Are you guys going to still be playing this in the next couple weeks? Or are you going to be really waiting to see what they do with the expansions and all sorts of stuff like that? Please actually just expand the story. Don't just do dumb little story missions or little repetitive missions. I don't need that. I want legit story expansions. That's what hooks me. That's what's really engaging. And that's what makes me want to dive back into this game. If you do that, if you don't, I'll probably never play the game again. That's just the same straight up stuff I can say. So make sure guys also hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, I forgot to give you guys my score for the Marvel's Avengers game. So with all that said, I'm going to give Marvel's Avengers a 7.5 out of 10. Again, a really big love letter, especially when it comes to the campaign, but everything else kind of just seems a little bit mixed for me. It's really that loot system that's holding me back from really giving this game any higher of a score, because it's so integral to the gameplay that it's just not enticing to kind of jump me back into this game. But it's still fun to play as the heroes. I have fun. I'm definitely going to go play this game a little bit more today, especially with some of my friends. And guys, if you guys want to head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early, make sure to head on over there, as well as just a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Stay safe, guys. Have fun playing your games. Let me know what game you guys are going to be playing up next. Cyberpunk's really the big one I'm looking forward to next after this. But of course, until next time, stay classy.